Cardiac Hill. Let's do it.
Places tight, cool air by. First steps up, cardiac hill. Breath comes quick, heart ticks thick. But I love that stubborn chill. I'm running the hills, through the trees. Every step shakes the sleep out of me. Mornings on fire, in the leaves. I'm running the hills, through the trees. Oh yeah, up with the birds on the breeze. This is the way I feel free. Gravel fade, sheet cascade. Hit the trail, the world goes hush. Wooden boards carried forward over water's silver rush. Hear it sing under spring. Little ripples race along. Sunlight flicker, footsteps quicker. Bridge turns my breathing into a song. I'm running the hills, through the trees. Every step shakes the sleep out of me. Mornings on fire, in the leaves. I'm running the hills, through the trees. Hey, da 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 da.
Hey, David here. So today I am shooting, well, I should say I've already done it. You've already watched it, but I'm getting ready to go do it now. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe morning run or something like that. I have set up, I shouldn't say set up, I updated my ZR. Today it's a Z Red, obviously. I'm shooting on red. So my Z Red, did the update. So I'm doing 1.1. And so let me start out by just kind of showing you what I just did and what I'm going out with. This is, I'll call this a run and gun setup, if you will. But for me, most things I do are controlled. So run and gun is kind of I don't know if it's a term that necessarily fits for me because I don't typically do documentary stuff where I'm running out and I, kind of get whatever I can. Most of what I do is controlled. So today this is going to be controlled. I got shots that I want to get. So, it's controlled to a certain degree. Now, here's one thing I want to start out by saying with this 1.1 update that I really like. Now they put that red line in, which is kind of funny because the red line is just below where I already knew where the peaking was, but it does help to have it there, but it got my brain thinking a little bit. So anyway, in this situation right here, I know my highlights are good because I checked them. And so right now looking at the monitor, I have it set for my skin tone. So right now my skin tones are red. The sun is right there. So I know my skin exposure is good. And then something else that I did is the record button on the front of the camera. I switched that to be peaking. And let me tell you why I did that. Because in a previous video, I've talked about this, but when you have the zebra setting on, okay, you can see the zebras and they say high or mid, right? In my case right now, it says mid. And then when you turn on the focus peaking, it actually puts an exclamation point over the mid so that you know that it's zebras. Which is interesting is if you have the zebras off and you do focus peaking on or off, there's nothing on the screen that shows you, I haven't checked with this new update, but there's nothing on the screen that shows you that you've got focus peaking on other than you have focus peaking and you can use it, right? So what I do is I leave the zebras on and then I change the record button on the front to be focus peaking. It's the focus peaking toggle, if you will. So when I hit that, I look at focus peaking, and when I turn it off, I have these zebras. So in this case today, I'm planning on doing this all day because I'm gonna be doing some stuff that's gonna be, inside a tree cover and stuff like. I shouldn't say, you already saw it, right? There was stuff inside a tree cover and whatnot, and so I'm gonna very likely keep the mids on the whole time. And so I literally just use that one button. I've got autofocus lens, as you guys know. I'm sorry, not autofocus, a manual focus lens, manual aperture lens, and manual f-stop. So the only button I plan on hitting today is that record, the record button on the front, which is going to be my focus peaking, the record button on the camera, and then I'll just be doing the adjustments here with my lenses. So real quick, also let's go over the setup. What I'm taking with me, of course, I've got my focus chart, if you will. I've got my monopod that you see there. I've got this right here. Now, the thing that's neat about this is these go together. I can take that top off. As a matter of fact, you got me thinking about it right now. I'm just going to leave this at the house. I've got this right here. I'm just going to leave this here because I have one on there that the camera's attached to for there. So I can take it off of there, put it on here, and I can stick it on the ground. And then I also can, adjust the, it's not a tripod head, but it's kind of like a ball head, right? It is a ball head. So I've got that. So I'm good to go with that. Now let's talk about what I've got in my pouch here. Now, of course, I've got my wallet and my phone in here, but then for today, I've got the 20mm on the camera right now. I'm taking my 85, which is an f2 lens, 85 f2. And I'm also going to take my 50, which is a 1.4 lens. These are 49mm lens filter size, so I've got a lens shade for this. If you guys saw the video I did yesterday, I had using my 20 with the lens shade on it, and I had vignetting around it, so I won't be using the lens shade for that. That's a 55mm, I believe. So I've got my 50, I've got my 85, and then I've got my, of course, in my lens cloth here. And then this is my backups here. Oh, I should also mention, I got a couple batteries here. Okay, so 2 batteries. And then for my backups, I've got a couple backup lens cloths there. Probably won't need them. And then I've got a 512 gigabyte drive in there now. And I've got a 512 gigabyte here. I don't think I'm going to use it. I've got, I believe, 44 minutes, something like that at 6K. So I think, and then these are my props that you guys have already seen me use. And that's it. So I hope you liked it. And I'll talk a little bit more about the shoot after I get out and do it. But here we go. Let's do this. Oh, I forgot. I'm shooting with the I keep getting this wrong. I believe it's called MED10. Am I going to get that right? It's either MDE10. No, it's ME. It's an MED10. I'm pretty sure. The shotgun mic, and everything I'm shooting today on this is going to be with that shotgun mic. Matter of fact, right now there's some noise in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, or I don't know. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm done. Well, I'm almost done. When I get back to the house, I'll get a shot of me running by the garage back there, which you've already seen, but I haven't shot it yet as a close, if you will. So how long was I out here? I don't know, hour and a half maybe? I'm not 100% sure. No more than 2 hours. And like I said, I had my 20, my 50, and my 85. I pretty much used my 20. I only used that a couple of times, mostly the 50, and I used the 85 for that tight shot that was down the bridge and the shot on the road, shot with the guy in the bike going by. I shot those. But, I like the look I get with these lenses. I don't want this video to be how do you say it? I don't want this to be a review of the Nikon ZR and what lenses you should use and stuff like that. But with these new updates, I won't get into them now, there may be some reasons for me to want to use the autofocus lenses more, but I don't know if I necessarily want a sharp look. And I know the ZR, the Z-Red by its nature is not crispy. I like using that word. Thank you, Mr. Bloom. It's not crispy by its nature, so it's probably not going to be a real big deal. But I like the look that I get out of my Minolta Rollcar X's. Like you guys, I've said before, I've got a whole set. I've got a 20, 28, 35, 50, 85, 100, and 135. And so I didn't have too much trouble out here. Regarding the update, I didn't really use the waveform red line. To me, that's kind of, I don't want to say it's meaningless, because what I'm actually glad is that red line shows me where they say the clipping is, or where the clipping is on that waveform. So it's kind of a confirmation. I don't really need that red line there now anyway, because I know where it's at. But I can't say I really need it anyway. Because if it came on red, like kind of a traffic light, if it came on red when it was peaking, then maybe, but having it be there all the time. But anyway, having the waveform up all the time, depending on what I'm doing. I don't have 20-year-old eyes anymore, but I do wear my glasses with the bifocal things. Behind the camera, yeah, this kind of stuff, running gun, shooting by myself, there's plenty of times where I'm like this and I have to pull out my focus chart to see what the focus is and things like that. And sometimes the waveform was getting in the way of that focus chart, especially if it was further away and the focus chart was, like this big. So I don't know if I'm going to use, it's up all the time, but I don't know if I'll really use that. It was easier for me to flip through the focus peaking and the highlights, which I've told you guys, I set this record button in front to do that. I just hit that and it goes back and forth. So I don't know that red line really does me any good. So can't think of anything else. I hope you liked this. I was going for, a movie look, if you will, a cinematic look. Sitting here right now, I'm deciding whether I want to go a thriller. I don't know, because you know how the music is. You change the music and all of a sudden you've got a thriller, because this is definitely shady, if you will. It's foresty, if you will. So anyway, enough of me talking. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to get some more stuff like this done. I'm hoping to get out to the ocean before I head back, so I may be able to do an ocean version of whatever you want to call these things. But I hope you've been enjoying what I've been throwing together. Remember, like, subscribe, don't like if you don't like it, and I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. See ya.